Oh, Sailor Saturn is so much cooler than Sailor Neptune. Look, like, Sailor Neptune is a snob in her civilian form. Sailor Saturn is a sweet girl. She heals people. She's just a little misunderstood. She's a tragic hero. Ah. Oh, nothing. I just got to the bottom of the bag of chips. Yeah, I guess I'll throw them away. No! No, 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 no! These chips, while they're dregs, while they're very small, while they are mere memories of what chips once were, can be once again revitalized into something wonderful. Just follow me into the kitchen. Our first step in making Mexican lasagna is to make the sauce stuff. I start with onions. There's one end here, one end here. I snip this off. I snip this off. Then I dig a little bit into the skin. Usually the top two layers of the onion aren't really that appetizing, so I just cut them off. Then I slice in half. Then this half. But I'm actually not crying right now because I go in with my knife and slice. What you don't want to do is chop. Next we're prepping a summer squash. Now I am going to put meat into this dish later, but if you're a vegetarian, you can use like all summer squash, or you can use lentils or beans, anything you want. I find the easiest way to break down this squash is to slice it lengthwise. Careful with the fingers. And take those pieces and... Next ingredient for our sauce, garlic. So close up this time so you can actually see. I chop this root end. I leave the knife so that it helps peel the skin off. Then usually the skin just comes off pretty nicely if it had that initial rip. Part of it might not come off like this. What I do is I just kind of squeeze it in my hands and that loosens it off. Very easy. This is my favorite tool with which to pulverize garlic. Works much better than a garlic press, not as much mess. Now that we've chopped all the vegetables, it's time to put in the meat. We don't want any clumps of beef. We want this nice and broken down. So as it's cooking, continue to break it apart with your spatula. A little salt. I just realized this is the first thing I'm cooking for this show that actually has meat in it. A lot of people think I'm a vegetarian, and I wonder why. Once your meat has calmed down and lost most to all traces of pinkness, it's time to add your vegetables. Add a little more salt. Add that lovely pulverized garlic that we put in. You don't need to stir this constantly, just babysit it. Look at it every once in a while and shift things in the pan to make sure that it's losing some moisture and not browning or burning. We also want to, at this point, start adding some spices that make this really nice and Mexican-y, I guess. We have some cumin, or cumin, however you want to pronounce that. I just dump in some cumin. And some cayenne pepper to taste. The stuff is very spicy. It should smell wonderful. Our vegetables have lost some water. The onions are translucent. So it's time to add the tomato sauce. I have 2 cans, little ones, of tomato sauce that I just bought at the store. All of 1 can. And about 2/3 of the other can. Because we're going to put the rest of that in the bottom of this casserole dish. You'll see why later. Just incorporate the sauce all through. And we're going to lower the heat, we're going to cover this and simmer it for several minutes. While our meat sauce is simmering, we can prep some of the other vegetables that go into this casserole. Bell pepper. I usually break down a bell pepper thus. And I remove the seeds because those taste icky. The ribs also don't taste really much like anything at all, so remove those. This top piece, I like to just cut around it. And an ear of fresh corn. It's summer, corn is in season. Deal with your corn by stripping it. Break your corn in half. Then we're going to stand it up so, and scrape the kernels off so. I cut up some olives while y'all weren't looking. You guys know how to do that, right? Or you can just buy them pre-cut anyway. Alright, good. Okay, so the last thing we're going to cut up is a little cilantro. You don't need very much. Cilantro is pretty potent stuff. Now the exciting part, assembly. Take your bag of destroyed chips and destroy them even more. Take your newly destroyed chips, put a layer on the bottom of your casserole dish. Some of that gloppy sauce we made earlier. Bell peppers, corn, and about half of your olives. Take your cilantro and put it on top of this part. Cheese that you've grated. And then your other half of the olives go on top. And guess where we're putting it? That's right, the toaster oven! Well, while it's baking, let's watch Sailor Moon.
Sailor Sautee. Hotaru-chan. Arigatou, Chibiusa-chan. Arigatou.
She's just so cool. And behold its hot, bubbly goodness. After the Mexican lasagna is rested, you go ahead and cut into it with a big spoon and serve with a nice dollop of yogurt on the side. Now, usually this is where I'd introduce our critic for the week, but unfortunately I couldn't get anyone, so I guess it's just going to be... Hi! 本当にあなたなの? 本当に本当? ずっと会いたかったわ。私大ファンなんです。こちらこそ会いたかったわ。あ、とりあえずお腹空いてない？今ちょうどメキシカンラザニアってものを出来上がりましたよ。まあ、美味しそう。食べる？うん、喜んで。わーい！じゃあとりあえず座って座って。美味しいわ。土星の食べ物よりもずっと。本当？よかったな。ありがとう。